Are you putting in the work? That's first and foremost. Yes, we love positivity, but we also love putting in the work.
You got to be thoughtful of that negative voice. I don't think you have to sit in the mirror and positive affirmation yourself to death, but you need to be aware of the damage that the negative has.
Life is gonna suck. Struggle is gonna happen. You're gonna get knocked down. How are you gonna respond?
Welcome to Inner Pump, where we help driven individuals get the most out of life and build the inner mastery to drive growth, confidence, discipline, and mental fortitude, where overcoming adversity means doing the things you know you should do. Real topics, real people, real business. I'm your host, Ajee. Let's get it. This is Inner Pump.
Welcome to the Inner Pump podcast.
It's just you and I today,
Just me and you. Yeah, we don't have any amazing guests on anymore.
but we got a good topic today. One that I think we're probably equally as passionate about.
I think we are. Well, let's get right into it, man. Let's let the people. Well, hold on. Before we get into it, bro, how's your week been going? How's everything been going, man?
It's good, man. We both got a lot going on, but I have a lot of momentum right now.
Ooh, yes.
Which like I'm better busy.
Yeah.
Straight up. Like when I don't have a lot going on, like I don't get as much. Like it's weird. Like when you have so much going on, you maximize your time because you know you don't have a lot of it.
Mm-hmm.
So you don't procrastinate at all because you're like
I gotta get going. Yeah.
Like we've been trying to film, right? And you and I are like, between you, me, and Brandon, it's like we got this afternoon. We got to get like get it scheduled to get it done.
Facts.
And like there's power in that because we bring it when we need to.
We always do. But speaking of that, hold on. Shout out our boy Brandon, man. He does the hard work behind the scenes, making me and Matt look good. If y'all don't know who this boy is, man, if this man is, man, y'all need to go follow him on Instagram. Brandon, where can they find you?
At bdavy_1470.
There we go.
Y'all heard that? bdavy_1470.
He's the MVP.
He is the man. He is the myth. He is the legend.
All right, what are we talking about today?
All right, bro. For everyone out there, we are talking about the power of positivity, energy, and optimism. But we do have to preface it by saying this first. Because, you know, the whole positivity people out there, oh, just be positive. Oh, you know, we're just going to think positive thoughts all day. Are you putting in the work? That's first and foremost. So, yes, we love positivity, but we also love putting in the work. We also love putting in the grind. And if you aren't mixing the two together, then just positivity alone won't work. I'm just being honest.
Yeah, I think you gotta see it in real time. So for me, like my story on the impact of this personally is I really wasn't that positive. I would almost say that I was a negative person in college. And part of it is you guys heard about some of our lack of success, like a lot of failure, 5-35 in 4 years. Like
He's talking about his football team.
That's a lot of very few wins, lots of losses. But the reason I feel blessed because we got this brand new coaching staff going into my senior year who was hyper positive versus before, right? Like we were, our old coaches that we had for 3 years when we lost, like they felt that stress, right? Because that was their job. Mm-hmm. So when you're losing, like these are grown men that like we were costing them their jobs and they'd let us know that. Mm-hmm. So it was just super negative. Like we got to change every little thing. Nothing positive ever, right? And then we got this new coaching staff, same guys. I would say we were less talented my senior year than we were my junior year, and we were like 30 points per game better, 30 on average per game, which is coaching. Mm-hmm. We got this new staff that came in and made us like each other, made us have fun playing football again. Mm-hmm. It was all culture. We got like we still worked our butts off, but working was the prerequisite, right? Like we were still working, but we weren't internalizing a bunch of negative stuff behind the scenes, and it wasn't multiplying.
Well, what I think I'm trying to unpack there is what you're saying is that not only positivity, but he brought in a sense of belief.
Totally, and like I just don't want people to think that like I've always been this way. Mm-hmm. I wasn't, right? Like, and it's kind of shameful to admit, right? Like I was one of those like small group bitchers. You know, you guys know who those people are. Yeah. Like, you know, you get in your group of 2 or 3 and you fucking bitch.
Yeah, complain about everything.
Yeah, like this is not fair and like that. Like but then what was cool about getting this new coaching staff is they eliminated all the excuses. because they came in and they were the best coaching staff in Ivy League history. We somehow
Wow.
landed the best coach. So in other words, he had been there, done that. So he came in and said, here's the playbook. Like, here's not the literal plays, but here's how we're going to be successful.
Mm-hmm.
And who are you? Like, suddenly, like, that's the answer key.
Yep.
So you have to believe
Mm-hmm.
because you're literally, it's right there. Like, there's been proof.
Yeah.
So we were forced to buy into that as a group, and seeing the impact changed me forever. From that person to see, geez, wow, belief and positivity compounded with work and coupled with work,
Come on.
right? To your point earlier, very powerful. It's a competitive advantage
Literally.
being positive with the work.
Mm-hmm.
What, like, do you have a story for something like that? Because that's when I first felt it, and now I've seen it. I've been that way for 7 years now.
Yeah. So for me, it's a little different. I can't say I was always like in that, that type of like more negative mindset or more negative attitude. For some reason, I always had this positive attitude in life, and just like whatever happened to me, man, I'm gonna just keep moving forward. I'm gonna just keep finding a way. And I think, to be honest with you, it's just I always have my life in God's hands. Just if I'm being 100% honest, and I always knew that like God's gonna get me out of any predicament I'm in. So then any time that I got hit, I got knocked down, whatever happened to me in my life, man, and I didn't grow up in the best childhood, you know what I'm saying? I didn't grow up in the worst. But there was some things that happened in my childhood to where it's just like, we're just going to keep moving, and we're going to find the best opportunity out of anything. You know what I mean? And just from that at a young age, bro, just.
Some of that's from your dad.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, just keep moving forward, bro. Just keep moving forward no matter what happens in my life. And, I had some good parents to believe in me and to make me believe in myself.
Do you think some of that for you is speaking it into existence? Because one thing I've noticed about you is, and I know that you probably have a little bit of this naturally, but I feel like you've had to work at it, is you're very open with your dreams, with where you want to go. I mean, these are big dreams.
Mm-hmm.
Like, people are obsessed with the term manifesting, right? Like, I don't that's not what I'm talking about.
Yeah.
I'm talking about, like, you believe it.
Oh,
Like, a lot of the
without a doubt.
manifesting stuff is, I'm just going to throw that out there.
Mm-hmm.
I hope
Yeah.
somebody like helps me,
Literally.
Or I get
it's
attention
the same
for
thing
it.
like the positivity
And
people that I'm talking
that's
about.
my
They're in the
point.
same. They're in the same
I'm trying
party.
to call out the nuance there.
Mm-hmm. Exactly.
But like, I feel like there's a little bit of healthy, like, I'm going to tell people about it to make myself commit to doing it.
Yeah.
Like, I'm going to start this podcast. Now everybody knows I better do it.
I better do it. Yeah.
But
exactly.
I'm talking like, I feel like you have that plus the belief.
I see what you're. So you're saying tell people, but I also believe.
I
in
don't
myself,
think
so.
you tell people until you actually believe it.
Yeah. I mean,
And I think that's a big difference with you and a lot of other people.
yeah. That's a great point, bro. I just for me, I want to be a servant leader to everybody else, right? And I want other people, like, my satisfaction comes with other people achieving their goals, achieving their dreams, getting that feeling of helping somebody get closer to who they want to become. Like, that means the most to me, right? So when I go out there and I tell people these big things that I want to do, I tell them just to let them know that, like, it's possible. And when you hear me say that, when Brandon hears me say some crazy stuff like that, then you guys are thinking, well, if this dude's thinking crazy like this is just an example. You might not think this, but you could.
Yeah.
Like, if this dude thinking this crazy, why can't I think this crazy? You know what I'm saying? And then it's like, I just want to get that effect on people that it's contagious. It's contagious, man. You know what I mean? And the more people you're around who have crazy dreams, like, bro, I want to build a city one day, a full city from the ground up. You know what I mean? And like, to think of something that big, of that magnitude, of hundreds of millions and millions of dollars, definitely billions, it's going to come true one day. And we're going to look back on this episode and it's going to be like, damn, that's crazy. On episode blah, blah, he said this 40 years later. And see, it's the long game with me, bro. I don't care about anything right now. I'm playing the long game. And that's the thing, is like, for me to have positivity and belief in whatever I do, all the failures I have right now in my short 29 years of life, I'm playing the long game. So I'm making all these mistakes now, but guess what? When I'm 40, oh, it's turned up. When I'm 50, oh, it's really turned up. You know what I mean? So I think that's just something that revolves around my end. Do you have anything else on your side?
No, I was thinking about this. We were talking about It Takes What It Takes, that book.
Oh, yes. R.I.P., man.
Yeah.
Trevor Mudd.
He's big into sports, but he said this one thing which I always think of you, ironically, with this, is he was like, the stat was negative thoughts in your head are 4 times as powerful as the opposite positive thought.
Mm-hmm.
And then the bigger thing, which is why I thought about you articulating this and vocalizing it to people, not just a thought inside, not like I've got a goal of building a city and I'm afraid to tell it out loud.
Yes.
Was he also drilled into, if you vocalize those thoughts, if you speak it, it has 10 times the force. So now think about it this way. If it's negative, it's automatically 4 times as powerful.
Yeah.
You then vocalize it. Now you're talking 10 times
10x.
multiplied by 4.
Ooh.
Whereas the positive is still 10 times as powerful when it's articulated and vocalized versus internalizing it. So now you like the positive version is still 10 times as powerful than just I'm gonna have this baby dream. You know, I'm gonna keep it to myself. I'm gonna write it down. Like that's why, like you just saying that you're gonna build a city, basically has 10 times the chance of it happening now than if you just wrote that down and didn't tell anybody.
See, but I do also understand the flip side of that, to where other people, they're like, I'm gonna grind in silence, which I do respect that as well. You know what I mean? But we live in a such a negative world.
I'm
right?
just saying you got to be thoughtful of that negative voice.
Ooh.
Because that's the point. I don't think you have to sit in the mirror and positive affirmation yourself to death.
Yeah.
But you need to be aware of the damage that the negative has.
That's your inner thief.
And that's exactly why we talk about that on this podcast. Is if you're not, first thing is being aware that that's happening, and once they put statistics to it, that's that inner thief before it even gets vocalized. Like think COVID, right? Like in my world, I'll give you a great corporate.
We're not allowed to
example.
say that on the podcast, bro.
That one thing that happened in 2020.
There we go.
Right? So I'm in sales, right? That's the initial response to that. Oh my God, nobody's going to spend money. So I had sales reps calling me, dude, every day, writing off the year. Straight up. Hey, this year's a wash, man. Doomsday. Nobody's going to buy this software from us. They're going to all curl in a ball. Nobody's going to do anything.
You doubled down.
Well, I just said, look, here's the good part. It's a level playing field. And so I have 2 choices. I could either be somebody that every time somebody calls me, I just pile onto the doomsday shit. And I just remember reading this book, Happiness Advantage by Sean Aker.
Okay. Never read it.
It's one book I read every year.
Happiness Advantage?
Happiness Advantage.
Write it down.
And I remember that book reminded me, like, you've got the ability to be positive and control that. So I thought to myself, as soon as somebody calls me, I'm going to make sure during the 2020 thing that they don't leave that phone call less optimistic than they were before they called me.
And think of how many people they call that was in your same exact shoes, and they're
totally. I would answer that
checked
phone
out.
and I would say, this is tough. But you know what I've done? I've doubled down on video conferencing. I've studied virtual selling. I've bought a podcast mic.
Yeah.
I've bought a HD webcam because I'm going to get video emails. I'm gonna optimize the hell out of what I've got, because here's the good thing: nobody's meeting with clients in person, so that's fair. So I'm just gonna, you guys can just be, oh, woe is me, right? But I had a decision to make.
What I hate.
Totally no, but like it's super easy, right? Like they just said, oh, this is an opportunity for me that I can't succeed, is what they said. So I'm not going to put in the work.
And let the audience know how that paid out for you.
I mean, amazing, right? Like I started lapping people, and that momentum has carried, right? Because now I know if I could do it in those conditions, when it's good, and it really got good after that in technology sales, right? Then it was really good.
Blew, yeah.
But people weren't ready for that. So now I have that skill set of like, I could sell a big, $8-9 million deal from my office. Because I got that virtual selling. I feel like that's a strength for me now. So I didn't take that as an excuse, and it was a thoughtful decision that book really reminded me to do. So that's just a real example that's why I'm so passionate about this.
Bro, in positivity, I think it's a bad rep. Not a bad rep, but I think a lot of people, a lot of millennials, a lot of Gen Zers, whatever, they take this to the extreme. But I truly believe, man, however you respond to life's events, if you respond with grace, if you respond with positivity, if you respond with optimism, what You know what I'm saying? Life can never hold you down. You will never be controlled by life, because this is the one thing that we have to understand, bro. Life is going to suck. Struggle is going to happen. You're going to get knocked down. How are you going to respond? And you could choose to respond with positive love. You could choose to respond with work. And the fact that we're just going to get knocked or whatever the event in 2020 happened.
You almost said it.
I know.
I said it. Bleep it out.
Yeah, we got to bleep that out, because, the overlords, they don't allow us to talk about that anymore. They were totally wrong in 2020, 2021. We won't go there, though. But, yeah, man. I don't even know where I was going with this anymore.
I got a good story.
Come on, take
this. I heard this story of this guy that he when he was in high school, like he had to take the SAT like everybody, and he was a guy that like didn't go to class, didn't take it seriously, didn't get good grades. He takes the SAT. His mom was telling him study, didn't, shows up.
Oh my gosh, I think I know you.
You know the story?
I think I know you.
Amazing story.
Come on, I don't want to
so junior year, right? He takes the SAT. Thinks he did okay.
Yeah.
Right. This is back with like mail. Still,
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
So he gets it back. He did 1480 out of 1600.
Mm-hmm.
And his mom's like, "The hell?
I know.
You're a genius,
Yeah,
and you have such bad grades. You're a genius." Right. And so suddenly he starts acting like a 1480.
Yes.
Starts hanging out with 1480s. He starts going to class. He starts this is who he is now.
Yeah.
He believes that he's a 1480, and this is when it was out of 1600,
Mm-hmm.
right? So that's damn near
That's
perfect,
genius, bro.
right?
That's genius. Yeah.
And so he thought, he's got people telling him, "You're a genius. You're a genius. You got something that other people don't have, right?"
Mm-hmm.
12 years later,
Come on.
this dude has crushed it in business, crushed it in everything he's touched because of being a 1480. He gets a letter, his wife, from Princeton Review. They do an audit every year. And 12 years earlier, they effed up the results and told him his test score was 780
Yes, I remember that.
out of 1600.
Bro, the placebo effect is real.
So, I just got chills telling the story again, because all he did was start acting like a 1480.
And believing he was a 1480.
He believed he was a 1480.
Yes. His belief, his actions, he believed it, so then his actions had to align with his belief.
And the reason I said earlier, where I think your secret sauce is that deep down belief, is that eventually willpower, everybody's got those spurts of momentum, the spurts of it's momentum, right?
Yeah.
That's what you have. But eventually that will succumb to who you believe that you are.
Yeah.
So those spurts, you're going to run out of those spurts.
Mm-hmm.
But deep down, who you think you are
Mm-hmm.
is who you're going to be.
Yeah.
So he literally believed he was a 1480. All the while, he wasn't any smarter than the 780.
Bro, this is life.
But that belief,
Yes.
that positive mindset was a competitive advantage for him in business all along as the same intellectual dude.
Yes.
And so that's why the study goes on to say that basically there's a 5% component. I'm not saying you can go to the NFL and compete against Jadeveon Clowney or Cam Newton, these freaks, right? That have a physical, forget mindset. I'm not squaring up to that.
Yeah.
But they were saying there's a 3 to 5% component of that separator, where if skill, intellect, size, speed, all that in business or in profession, if that's equal, and you've got this positivity
That belief
to compound on top of that in that belief,
Mm-hmm.
those are the great ones.
It's over. Game over. And people think this is the crazy thing too. You're on to something amazing. Is that they think it's 40% better, 50%. It's it doesn't take that much more to get that much more results. And I think that's the thing that we don't understand.
It's the 3 to 5% that you're leveling people.
Bro, yes.
You're beating people.
Imagine if we could just get a bunch of people to just believe in themselves and just to know that whatever life throws at them, just be positive and just keep working through it. And which we should go into energy now. And I saw this great thing, and it's it said a person's energy is a combination of their past, their mindset, their dominant thoughts, and the perception of the world, who they believe, what they think the world is. And if you think the world is so bad, this terrible place, bro, it pisses me off that we literally live in a world to where all we see is the worst part of society. Do you think we're supposed to? They want us to thrive? Do you think the government really wants us to thrive with everything they're throwing at us?
You can get into the government stuff if you want.
Bro, don't give me. They do not want us to be healthy, for one. And for energy, bro, energy is everything, right? What's one of the number one contributors to your energy is your food source, your supply. What are you feeding yourself? I could go in a whole different
That's
spiel.
a whole different episode.
That's a whole different episode. Yeah, it doesn't need to be this. But like energy is to me, honestly, you
can control that.
Bro, but it's my cheat code. That's literally my cheat code in life. Is energy, bro. I walk into a room, you're gonna feel my energy.
Well, we were talking. Agree, 100%. We were talking to Kirsten about that, right? Where she was saying energy and pace.
You talking about K Money?
Yeah.
Kristen.
Yeah. So energy and pace, like your energy can basically mesh and overrun some of the lack of experience and capability.
Exactly. I always say this, bro.
Because you're bringing it.
Bro, I always say this. I don't have to be the smartest person in the room, but I'm going to be the hardest working person in the room. And no one's going to match my energy. Nobody. And that's just how I think, bro. And it's like every room I step into, I want to bring intention into there. I want to bring high energy. I want to bring optimism.
Yeah.
And I want that shit to be contagious. Excuse my language. I want that to be contagious.
So that Happiness Advantage book I was talking about, they like, so I felt that with Columbia football, that change. Like I saw the results.
Yeah.
So that's what got me on that book. Not the coaches didn't say go read this book. I was a psych major, so I started studying culture and teams.
Yeah.
And like it was the first time that like schoolwork and life and passion all like I wanted to read this stuff. It was the first time ever.
I love
right?
that.
It was the first class I took a cultural psychology class. The first class I went to, I was like, damn, this is awesome. I get this. And in that Happiness Advantage book, they were saying life is flipped. Like people are taught that.
What do you mean? Yeah.
So
Elaborate
get this. That whole book is all about that people think that you have to have success before you're happy. The whole book.
I'll be happy when.
Exactly.
That's what yes.
The whole book is they have it all wrong.
Mm-hmm.
You're not going to be successful until you're happy.
Yeah.
So until the energy, until that is felt, until you have passion behind what you do, that success won't come.
Yeah.
And that was when it's something so simple, but everybody relates to that we work so damn hard to get an A on the test, to get the job, to do whatever.
I have a great story.
Now
about
I
this.
can celebrate.
Yes.
But then the goalpost just keeps getting moved back further and further and further.
Bro, I'll tell you the story right here. This is right out of college. After my first flip, I knew I was like, I always wanted a Tesla Model S, right? And it was hot, super hot back then. So what I do, I go out and buy a Model S, 23 years old. And I'm like, I'm going to be so happy when I get it. Bro, I got it, took the Instagram photo in front of it, whatever. And then after I was like, this car sucks. No shade on Elon. And no shade, it was probably one of the best cars ever. But I was just like, this car isn't
It just faded.
what made me happy.
It just faded.
You see what I'm saying? So yeah, not that the car sucked, but it was just like, I put all this happiness feelings into what it was going to be like once I got that car.
That was your carrot. I was going to work so hard to get that car.
Yes. I was happy when. I'm going to be happy if. And it was like, I need to stop putting my happiness on a contingency plan. And that was a wake-up call for me. Stop putting your happiness on a contingency plan. Be happy now. Bro, tomorrow's not promised. Dude, you don't understand. On my Instagram, I see RIP this person, RIP that person. And it's like, damn, they're young. They thought they had their whole life lined up in front of them.
Yeah.
And that, bro, if you think of that mindset of I could be gone tomorrow, bro, you would look at life a whole lot different. A whole lot different, bro.
Yeah, you just have a choice, right? Things happen. Like things are gonna happen. That's a fact.
Yeah.
Bad things.
Yeah.
And you have that choice, and that's what this book is all about, to either take it, accept it, and reframe it.
I want to ask you something. I want to ask something real quick. How much of that, though, because, okay, yes, it's great to be happy, but are you happy? Okay, stay with me here. You put your body through pain in the weight room every day still, right? Is it those moments that make you happy?
Those moments for me, and you're going to relate to this, are part of convincing myself that I deserve the success. I am doing something that other people aren't going to do.
Oof, that's it right there.
And if that's me being honest with you.
Yeah.
Like I structure my day so that I get those little wins that I can tell myself that's where I can be. That's where I'm creating that positivity because I know I'm putting in the work. I've earned it.
Come on.
So like that, there's all those studies on the dopamine spikes that happen during the process.
Process.
And not at the achievement. Or excuse me, more during the process.
Yes,
of course.
then the achievement.
That Tesla moment.
Oh, dopamine was up, but
yeah.
it didn't match
But
what it was.
if they actually study your brain through the process of that flip and those little victories of getting the contract and passing inspection, like they're all those little, your dopamine's actually spiked higher.
Yes.
So that's part of the process for me. And that's like, and I gave the 2020 example of all the sales reps curling up. I can't close a deal if I'm not traveling. I can't, so they're not going to buy because they don't have any money. Really easy things to say. Whereas I just said the opposite.
Mm-hmm.
Of course, I had like my week of like, oh my God, I just bought a house. How am I going to pay my bills? Who's going to buy something? But then I said, this is what I've got.
Mm-hmm.
This is what I've got. So
find a way.
I've got to. I actually flipped it and I said, I hope those guys do that.
Yeah. Less competition, huh?
I hope they curl up.
Ooh, now you talking my talk.
And then it was like that psychopath in you, right? I was like, oh, please write the year off.
Bro, yes.
Because I promise whoever's buying, now I'm winning all of those.
Yes, bro. Yeah.
Because nobody's going to call me and get off the phone, like I said, and say that guy doesn't feel like we're going to win this year.
Mm-hmm.
No, we're going to win.
Mm-hmm.
We're going to find a way to win. And just seeing that actually play out, now it's a muscle that I've got. So like that negative guy that I was when stuff was going bad, I was still putting in the work, but I didn't believe it. And now like seeing that, I just have this crazy momentum. But it's because of those little things. Like it's those little wins. And now you just recreate that story in your head. Like I'm doing this. I got the discipline. They're not doing that, so I'm going to win.
Yeah. I love it, bro. I love it. And for me, going back to the first question I asked you about, are you happy in those moments of pain? Bro, for me, it's weird. Me and my boy Timothy, we run the SMU bleachers on Mondays, right? And bro, those are some of the hardest times like I put my body through, and I love it. My body craves it. If I miss a Monday, bro, it's like, what are you doing? When I'm out there running, I ran freaking my first time ever running 8 miles, bro. I hated it. But at the end, bro, I freaking loved it. And it's something about pushing your body through the pain. It's just a blissful feeling, bro. I can't even understand. But it's
you hit on something though. Like in this same thing, there's a ton of studies about the social connection. Like I think you're really big about community. And like there's so much power. It's a multiplier when you're doing it with somebody else.
Yes. Yeah.
Like you get fulfillment out of pushing him, he gets fulfillment out of pushing you, but it's that connection that's driving the happiness and success. It'd be different. You'd still get a little win running those bleachers on your own. But like that Monday rolls around and you're like, Timothy and Brandon are going to be there. I'm going to be there.
Yeah, agreed, bro. It's just something about it. Right, B? You coming?
Yeah, I'm there.
You better
Now
be
he's
there,
gonna
bro.
be
Yeah.
there.
Hey, Brandon showed up the last time, man. He comes to film, but he comes in his work clothes. I said, bro, what are you doing?
Lulu pants, running stairs.
I was there to film. I was like, I'm there to film, bro.
Hey, but he getting that work in tomorrow, man. But yeah, bro, it's just something about putting my body through that pain, bro. It's just, I don't know. I love that. It's like for me, that's my energy. That's my positivity. But then optimism. Let's go on to that.
Did I hit on something there with like you kind of have a group?
No, it's
that like you got your group in the mornings that you go like.
Yeah, I would say it definitely is. It feels much better doing it with somebody else. Like, I mean, I could go alone or I could go with a bunch of people and we all get
I'm
brought
not
up
saying
together.
I'm not saying you need the group. Right?
No, yeah.
'Cause I don't
know
think
what you
you're
mean.
that, but like.
No, but no, there's something about having, bro, honestly,
Yeah.
like me and my bro, we ran 8 miles the other day on the trail and we both told each other, we're like, dude, I wouldn't have done that without you. And he was like, I wouldn't have done that without you. And that's just what it was. You know what I mean? So it's like it's a huge lesson in that too, bro. It's like if you're trying to do it alone, you can only go so far, but with somebody else, with a team, who could stop you? You know what I mean?
So optimism in career, right? We talk a lot about Jim.
Yeah.
Career-wise, you're big on goals. We heard one of the biggest ones.
Yeah.
To talk about
That's a vision. I don't even call it a goal, bro. That's a vision.
So optimism in your work, how does that does that play into it? Is that a core value for you?
Yeah, so being optimistic about things in life, bro. I mean, I'm dealing with something now in one of my projects, so where it's seriously out of my control, and it's taken them 7 months, and all I could do is just call them every day and figure out what the heck is going on, and if they're gonna move this hotline, and that's all I could do. You know what I'm saying? I mean, I've called over and over. So at the end of the day, bro, control what you can control, and if it's not working out the way it is, I mean, I could go sit at home and I could soak in it and I could be pissed off all day, but that's going to affect my family. That's going to affect my wife. That's going to affect our friendship. That's going to affect this. That's going to affect what we have with Brandon. You know what I'm saying? And like, we don't understand how that negative energy affects everything else. We think we could just tie it into one thing and be like, oh, that's it. And then what? You know what I mean? So yeah, bro, I just try to stay positive and optimist on whatever happens to me in life. What about you?
No, I mean, my world's sales, right? So like I talk to my coworkers all the time, and like even now, it's like recession headwinds. I just like, man, I don't know if it's youth, but like I just don't. I hate it, dude. I hate when I hear that stuff. It just kills me. And maybe it's because like maybe they haven't studied the stuff that I've studied and how bad that is. Like we just talked about, like, the dude saying like there's like my boss, man. He was saying the other day, like, we better get all the deals in now because there's going to be no deals basically to have in Q3, Q4 with the looming recession.
That's
like
great advice.
Putting that out there.
It's great advice for your team, bro.
Right? Putting that out there.
I mean,
to
even if
everybody
that's true, bro. Even if that's true, at least give some
Don't
words of encouragement
Don't
out
say
there.
that out loud, right? I mean, say it in a small group, or where you were going is spot on. Finish it with a solution.
Yes. Yeah,
there's going to be less. That's the choice.
Yes.
Do we stop there? I'm not saying ignore recessionary trends and triggers. Not what I'm saying. Yep. That probably will happen statistically. What I am saying is there are still people that will buy.
Yes.
When the thing happened in 2020, Zoom was buying.
Mm-hmm.
All these companies, pet brands, there were accelerators. That's the flip side of it. Somebody's going to be winning. Yeah. Less people, I guess. But why don't we just laugh at the people that are going to curl up? Yeah. Let them curl, and we will find a way.
Come on.
That's the next
bro,
level.
You know, bro, but that's why you're going to be freaking great. Because think about how many people are in his shoes that are saying the same thing, that are telling their team the same thing. And here comes a person like you coming along. Hey, this is what's going on. This is what the market projects. But guess what? The market's not going to stop us.
There's still winners in that projection.
Come on.
That's the point.
Come on.
That's the point.
But that's the difference, bro. That's why you're going to be great,
What good does it do
bro.
to just throw the towel in?
Right? Bro,
I just can't. I can't live like that, man. I don't know if like that's. I don't know. Does that make you cringe too? Like somebody saying that?
When you just said that, bro, I'm like, okay, I do agree with telling people the truth, right? Telling and being honest.
Don't withhold facts.
Yes, exactly.
Or close to fact, like things that might happen. You got to prepare.
I mean, because we all live in this world. We're seeing what's going on. We're seeing that this world is ran like crap right now. Our border is wide open. We freaking keep on printing all this money. Like, what do you expect, bro? So it just doesn't make any sense for me to lie to people and tell them. I mean, bro, inflation is freaking killing people. Not killing people, but you know what I mean. It's hurting people's pockets. Food is outrageous, bro. It's people are hard to make ends meet. But you know what? We still gonna find a way.
I think that's a good recap, right? It's like things are going to happen that aren't in your favor.
Exactly.
Both recessionary, personally, whatever it is. But you've got a choice.
Come on.
When that happens.
That's it.
That's what we have both learned.
Yeah.
You have the choice, and that's when the power of positivity and optimism can become a multiplier for you.
Yes.
And what the exact facts that we just talked about, the most important thing, a competitive advantage is your ability to be positive and optimistic, rooted in fact, rooted in work, rooted in experience, not positive to be a cheerleader, rooted in nothing.
Yeah. Well, you said something amazing 2 minutes ago, bro, maybe 30 seconds ago. But you literally said you have a choice. And I don't think people understand they have a choice. You listening to this, you watching this, you have a choice on how you respond to life. You could choose to be positive in any and every situation. You could choose to have more energy by certain things. By, you know, there's certain times where you know, I'm not gonna go there, but yeah. But you could also choose to have optimism. And so why would you not think about this? What would your life look like right now if you decided today to have more energy, to have more positivity and to have more optimism, what would your life look like? We know it'd be a radical different life. Radically different.
That's the point. And I wasn't always that person. That's the cool thing is you're more naturally that way. I've had to train this muscle. I really have. And I'm in a very negative business. Like salespeople can be super pessimistic. They can't be because it's hard, man. It's hard. It's feast or famine, right? Realtors, same way.
Yeah, that's true.
But all the studies, man, they're all there. Like,
well, bro, why do you think I get so freaking pissed off when we have a whole group of people telling young black kids that they'll never be anything in life because of the color of their skin? Bro,
you wonder why. You wonder why,
bro,
right?
Are you kidding right now?
They have lost before they've started.
If this was even true, which we know it's not, what is this doing? What is this doing?
Creating headwinds.
Bro, that's why oh my gosh, man. See, I'm getting more to the government and this and that. I shouldn't be doing this right now. But this is how I truly feel, man. This all plays a part in everything, bro. You can't talk about being positive, optimistic.
But that's like we hit on how it personally affects you. Think about the people around you. That's the other thing. I feel like that's the part I'm making a bet that people have appreciated my level of positivity and optimism around me.
Come on, baby. Yes. Yeah.
And that gives me fulfillment.
Yeah.
I'm not delusional in my confidence and in my optimism because they see me putting in the work.
Yeah.
But again, I think it's a multiplier.
Yep,
I think it's an attractor for people that want to work with me, want to be on my team.
Yep.
Because I'm gonna push us.
You're vision oriented, bro.
Yeah, but it's again all rooted in the work.
Come
They're
on.
not gonna listen to the cheerleader stuff unless they see the work.
You live this shit.
Yes,
That's what it is.
100%.
That's what it is.
100%. But you can. There are a lot of people that are successful that are pessimistic. Imagine if they weren't.
For real, they would dominate. They
Isn't
would
that
destroy the
crazy?
game.
Because there's somebody listening to this that's like, damn, I'm kind of doing well.
Yeah.
What I would say to that person is if you're doing well and you're being pessimistic a lot of times, imagine how successful you would be with optimism.
Insane. Crazy.
There's legitimate statistics to that.
And honestly, who wants to be around pessimistic people, bro? It's the same stuff
Some
every
people
single
don't realize
time.
they're doing it.
Bro, it's the same stuff every single time you get around somebody and they just complain. Literally complain. It's like, dude.
Victim mindset. It's even got a term now.
It does, bro. I'm tired of you complaining, bro. If we're not talking about actions, if we're not talking about goals, if we're not talking about who we want to become in life, if we're not talking about getting each other better, if we're not talking about holding each other to a higher standard, if we're not talking about holding each other accountable, I don't want to do it. I don't want to deal with it, bro. I only hang out with people that are going to not only make me better, but that want better for themselves. You know what I mean? And I can learn, and anyone can make me better.
I think start with that though, right? Start with yourself. Be very, very careful the negative thoughts that you vocalize. Be very, very. The inner thief voice is always going to be there.
Always.
Don't tell people about it out loud.
Oh, hold on though, bro. Hold on.
No, I'm talking. Do not voice. There's a virus. I'm not going to sell anything this year.
Oh, I see. Okay, so you're saying because I'm about to say because that's
You
what
can-
we. I'm about to say.
you
Hold
better
on.
spin it.
I'm about to say because bro, that's what we do on this episode on the show. We ask people what's their inner thief. So.
It has a big effect to talk about that out loud. You better, as long as it's followed with a solution.
Come on, that's it right there. That's it. Follow with the solution, right?
Because that's going to reprogram your brain. If you're just vocalizing negative things over and over again, think about that. You can talk about it, Ajee, but the stats are saying it has 10 times the impact.
Yeah.
And 4 times if it's negative. Yeah. So now I've literally got to say 4 positive things now out loud to cannibalize the one negative thing.
But hold on,
let
me tell you this though, because David Goggins on his book, what was his last book called, bro?
Well, he did the you
freaking
can't
never
hurt-
finished. No, never finished. Right? He had me doing something that was crazy on there. One of his takeaways was basically record your inner thief. Record that little
and listen to it over and over again.
Listen to it over and over, bro.
That's the opposite of
Dog.
psychology studies, but
bro, no.
what did he say?
It had power. It had power because once I vocalized it and said into my phone and then replayed it, rewatched it, I said, I sound like this weak ass person. This is what I sound like for real, bro. I would never listen to this person in a million years.
He does that with comments too,
bro. Yes, but it, bro. For me, I mean, it's certain type of people they understand this, and then certain type of people don't. But bro, that was game changer for me. I literally was recording all that whenever I didn't want to
your
get
inner
out of
thief
bed.
voice.
Bro, yes, and it sounded terrible. It sounded ridiculous. Bro, if I play it back to you, you'd be like, no way, Ajee, this isn't you. And it took me having to re-listen to that, being like, bro, this is me? Are you serious? I literally threw it, bro. It was almost gone in an instant because minimized it so much. I was like, is this really coming from me? So I think there is some validity to speaking it, hearing it, playing it back.
With the right lens.
Exactly. Yeah, because I could definitely see how the flip side of that, how someone could listen to it and be like, damn, this is true. And that is what's going to F you up.
That's the belief.
Yeah. No, because if you listen to that inner thief.
That's my point. Yeah. Like if you start to believe it.
And see, but that's my mindset. I didn't believe it in the beginning. It's just in my mind. But once I heard it out loud, I was like, I'm serious. This is what I'm saying in my mind right now. Man, we got deep right now, bro.
It's everybody has that. That's why it's important to talk about. Like we could talk about like successes and all that stuff, but like there's no one listening to this that doesn't have that voice.
Facts.
Nobody that hasn't had the like woken up and said, "Gosh, I'm not feeling it."
Well, that's why it's so big to build your inner pump, bro. It's so big to build your inner pump by doing the work, by having the belief, by putting the actions with the belief. That's how you build your inner pump.
And you got to do it 4 times more than the negative.
Come on.
That's the point.
Yes.
That's the point of what we just talked about is
Yes.
that's what the stats show. Is it's not a 1-to-1 relationship.
Yeah.
The power of the negativity is 4 times the power of the positivity.
Do y'all hear that?
So your inner pump's got to be 4 times more
Negative.
public
Yeah.
than the negative.
And so let's just finish it off with this, bro. Is make sure you're conscious of what you're feeding your mind. Make sure you're conscious of the energy around you. Make sure you're conscious of the people around you. Make sure you're conscious of what's going into your brain at any and all times. Matt, you got anything else to leave them off with?
No, that was good. That was good.
All right. Well, thank you guys so much for another episode of Inner Pump. This was a great episode, man. Matt got me going on a bunch of different
I don't know how I'm gonna go to sleep now.
spiels. I know I'm already lit, man. I want to go run through a wall, but we got to work out early in the morning tomorrow, man. It's pretty late. And thank you guys so much for watching. What we do want you guys to do is share this episode, share the whole Inner Pump brand, man. We coming strong. We coming with some crazy things. Shout out Matt. Shout out Brandon. Hey Matt, where can they find you, bro?
At the real Matt Kale on Instagram.
Okay, what's the website?
Not yet.
I almost got him.
Jeez.
All right, y'all already know where to find Brandon, man. We out, baby. Inner Pump. Peace.
I never mess up the commas. You know I put that on my mama. Well, that's all we got for this episode of Inner Pump. One thing that would really help both of us and other new potential listeners is for you to rate this show and leave a comment on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, or wherever you tune in to listen. Also, make sure to check us out at innerpump.com on social media, and if you enjoyed this episode and received anything of value, please share this podcast with anyone you think might enjoy it. Until next time, we out, baby. Inner Pump. Peace.